To Your Eternity, without any doubts, is one of the best anime released in 2021. It features a unique plot concept and a host of unforgettable characters. It is also well animated by the studio that famously did not give us a second season of Blood Lad. I'm talking about Brain's Base. I do not trust this studio, so despite the amazing animation in the opening episodes, and the true to manga adaptation of the series, it did not come as a surprise when the penultimate arc of the anime saw a massive reduction in the quality of the animation and storytelling. This is of course the Jananda arc of the Prison Island arc in the anime. Today we're gonna try to figure out why that was such a disaster. Hi everyone, welcome to Aniprop, let's get into it. The anime is based on a manga which was released by Yoshitoki Oima in 2017. This is the same author for the much acclaimed film A Silent Voice. You can see the influence of his earlier work coming out in To Your Eternity. This is mainly in the character designs as well as the way drama is presented throughout the anime's run. The animation in this one is handled by Studio Brain's Base. This is a studio that I do not regard highly, primarily because of how they handled Blood Lad, but also because they have not worked on a commercially successful anime for almost a decade. When they decided to drop both Blood Lad and my teen romantic comedy Snafu. Snafu was luckily picked up by another studio, but Blood Lad has fallen to the wayside and stayed there. Let's discuss the content of the arc itself. Minor spoilers ahead. The Jananda Island arc follows Fushi and Piran as they are abducted and carried to the prison island of Janando. There are several narrative problems here. Firstly, we find out that the whole abduction and all the struggles on the island were masterminded by Hayase. This is a character that was briefly shown in the second arc of the show, but was no more than an underdeveloped villain. The narrative does a very poor job of conveying how the character's motives and means evolved to the degree that she was willing and able to set up an entire stronghold on the prison island with a militia at her disposal and mastermind Fushi into coming there and being captured. Kind of a stretch. There's a disconnect here, and several leaps of logic that was not present in the narrative previously. Another narrative problem comes from the characters. In the previous arc, we had strong characterization from those around Fushi. They were also interesting, which detracted from the fact that Fushi is a blank slate, essentially an infant growing into the world. Tanari and her band of unremarkable youths are introduced to be Fushi's new allies. At the point that some of these characters are killed, I didn't even remember their names. They die some meaningless deaths, which also narratively makes no sense, as they knowingly sacrifice themselves for an immortal individual. The other problem this arc has beyond the narrative is a steep drop-off in animation quality. It is very noticeable because of how beautiful the visuals were in the other arcs, but in this arc, even for the action sequences where I was expecting brilliant Sakuga, we got Dragon Ball Super looking animations. Look at this, you see it? It's bad. It almost feels like the budget was finished by the time we rolled around to this arc. Episode 17, The Defeated, really brings the anime's decline into sharp focus. For one, it starts with a lengthy recap. The show had been doing this, likely to pad the runtime, but I honestly don't mind the recap because of the stellar voice acting involved in the narration of both the English and Japanese dubs. The episode then reveals its wonky directing and poor animation. I think the anime suffers from the lack of credentials of Brains Base here. So imagine how nervous I am when I see that Brains Base picked up the production of the 4th season of Golden Kamuy. This episode, episode 17, is called The Defeated because I think this is where the animation studio lost their battle. The last arc for this anime was not good, but I cannot discredit the rest of the anime. Take this part out and we would be calling the anime a masterpiece and a technical achievement, instead of talking about how bad this one arc was. The beautiful thing is that this arc was not bad enough to ruin the entire show. I now look forward to the 2nd season, which, lucky for us given Brains Base track record, has already been confirmed for fall 2022. Let's see if this studio can recover its reputation and save this anime. Thanks for watching today, like and subscribe, and see you next time.